How to get a job. Whether you're looking for your very first job, switching careers, or re-entering the job market after an extended absence, finding a job requires two main tasks: setting and following through on your goals and using the latest tools to enter the job market. Assuming you've chosen a career objectives and are currently searching for jobs, here are several ways to actually get a job. Building your qualifications. Revise your resume. Before you start job hunting, make sure that your resume is as complete and up-to-date as possible. Your resume is an important distillation of who you are, where you come from, and what you can offer. Here are a few tips to consider. Never make up information on a resume, it can come back to haunt you later. Look at a variety of recent, relevant job descriptions. Use similar language to describe your skills and accomplishments on your own resume. Use active verbs. When describing what you did at your last job, make the sentence as tight and active as possible. Proofread. Review your resume several times for grammatical or spelling errors. Even something as simple as a typo could negatively impact your ability to land an interview, so pay close attention to what you've left on the page. Have one or two other people look at it as well. Keep the formatting classic and to the point. How your resume looks is almost as important as how it reads. Use a simple font, such as Times New Roman, Arial or Bevan, black ink on white or ivory-colored paper, and wide margins, about 1 inch on each side. Avoid bold or italic lettering. Ensure your name and contact information are clearly and prominently displayed. Prepare for the job interview. Develop your personal elevator pitch. Many structured interviews, particularly those at large companies, start with a question like "Tell me about yourself." The interviewer doesn't want to hear about grade school or growing up. This is a work and experience related question with a right answer. In 2 minutes or so, the interviewer wants to understand your background, your accomplishments. Keep it brief, between 30 seconds and 2 minutes, and have the basics of it memorized so that you don't stammer when you're asked to describe yourself. You don't want to sound like recording or a robot, either, so only get the structure of it down, and learn to improvise the rest depending on who you're talking to. Practice your elevator pitch out loud on someone who can give you feedback. An elevator pitch is also useful for when you're networking, at a party or anywhere with a group of strangers who want to get to know you a little bit more. In a networking situation, as opposed to a job interview, keep the elevator pitch to 30 seconds or less. Make a list of work-related skills you'd like to learn. Your employer will be interested in hearing about how you intend to become a better employee. Think about which skills will make you more competent in the position you're applying for. Find some books and upcoming conferences that would significantly improve your abilities. In an interview, tell the employer what you're reading and learning, and that you'd like to continue doing so. Here is a list of some of the most important job skills, wanted by employers, that a job seeker must have to be sure of landing a good job and, just as importantly, keeping it. Logical thinking and information handling. Most businesses regard the ability to handle and organize information to produce effective solutions as one of the top skills they want. They value the ability to make sensible solutions regarding a spending proposal or an internal activity. Technological ability. Most job openings will require people who are IT or computer literate or know how to operate different machines and office equipment, whether it's a PC or multifunction copier and scanner. This doesn't mean that employers need people who are technology graduates. Knowing the basic principles of using current technology is sufficient. Communicating effectively. Employers tend to value and hire people who are able to express their thoughts efficiently through verbal and written communication. People who land a good job easily are usually those who are adept in speaking and writing. Strong interpersonal skills, because the working environment consists of various kinds of personalities and people with different backgrounds. It is essential to possess the skill of communicating and working with people from different walks of life. Doing your homework. Prepare for a behavioral interview. You might be asked to describe problems you've encountered in the past and how you handled them, or you'll be given a hypothetical situation and asked what you would do. You might also be asked questions looking for negative information. They'll basically want to know how you'll perform when faced with obstacles in the position you're interviewing for. You might find yourself listing facts. If so, remember that in this kind of interview, you need to tell a story. Research the company. Don't just do an internet search, memorize their mission, and be done with it. Remember that you're competing with lots of other candidates for a few or single position. You may not be able to change your natural intelligence, or the skills that you bring to the job, but you can always change your work ethic. Work harder than everyone else by researching the company or companies you wish to work for as if your life depended on it. If it's a retail company, visit a few of their stores, observe the customers, and even strike up a few conversations. Do informational interviews. An informational interview is when you invite a contact or a professional out to lunch or coffee, and ask them questions without the expectation of getting a job. Informational interviews are a great way to network, expand your list of contacts, and find out tips and tricks from professionals who are on the ground. Network. The best companies to work for tend to rely heavily on employee referrals. Make a list of all of your friends, relatives, and acquaintances. Contact them one by one and ask them if they know of any openings for which they could recommend you. Don't be too humble or apologetic. Tell them what you're looking for, but let them know you're flexible and open to suggestions. Don't be picky about jobs at this stage. A connection can get your foot in the door, and you can negotiate pay or switch positions once you've gained experience and established your reputation. Touch base with all of your references. The purpose of this is twofold. You can ask them for leads, and you'll also be refreshing their memory of you. Volunteer. If you aren't already, start volunteering for an organization that focuses on something you're passionate about. You may start out doing boring or easy work, but as you stick around and demonstrate your commitment, you'll be given more responsibilities. Not only will you be helping others, but you'll also be gaining references. Emphasize your volunteer experience on your resume, as companies that treat their employees well tend to favor candidates who help the community somehow. Internships may fall into this category, or they may be paid. An internship is a great way to get your foot in the door, as many companies prefer to hire from within. Even if you're far removed from your 20s or your college days, the willingness to work for little or no money shows companies that you're serious about putting in the work, learning the skills, and getting ahead. Believe it or not, volunteer positions and internships can lead to jobs. In today's economy, many companies are turning to internships as a cost-effective way to vet potential future employees. This is because many companies simply don't have the money or resources to take a stab in the dark and offer a job to someone who isn't tested. If you put in hard work, demonstrate your ability to solve problems, and keep your chin up, your value to the company might be too big for them to pass up on. When you're looking to get a job, you're expecting someone to give something to you, so you focus on impressing them. Yes, it's important to make a good impression, but it's even more important to demonstrate your desire and ability to help. Everything that you write and say should be preceded silently by the statement, "This is how I can help your business succeed." Settle down. If you've moved around a lot, be prepared to offer a good reason for it. Otherwise, you'll need to make a good case for why you want to stick around in the area where the job is located. A company doesn't want to hire someone with wanderlust who still wants to relocate. Sell the qualifications you have, and say you look forward to honing your skills and getting trained, and growing into the rest. Don't panic, and don't count yourself out if you don't have 100% of the things in a job description. The job description may describe an idealized candidate, which may be a different set of qualifications than they really require. Appear well-mannered, sitting upright, yet relaxed, not frowning or grimacing, but being positive, proactive and leaning slightly forward, showing interest, and do all you may to make a good impression based on optimism and confidence. Don't settle back in your chair or get too comfortable, but be alert, while not acting too nervous or desperate.